Okay, good. Who likes the culture he's working in his company? Who likes it? Who thinks the culture's okay? Who thinks the culture sucks? Nobody. That's one. Okay, good. Well, anyway, fostering a company culture. So first we want to start a little bit with what is culture. So what is culture? So what I did is what everybody does when he doesn't know what to say. He looks up at Wikipedia. Yeah, so I looked it up at Wikipedia. And so Wikipedia says culture is about values. Great. Culture is about norms. Culture is about the language we speak at work. Culture is about the vision that we have. Culture is about the beliefs we have. And culture is about our habits. So I asked the question again. What is culture? Well, it's hard to explain actually what culture is. It's this fluffy thing, and it's like this rabbit here. So you can't really see what it is. So, but you know when you work in a company that has a great culture. So let's start another way. Let's start with an example of a good culture. So well, we all know that we want to work for great startups. They have a great culture. Woo! Yeah, so two people sitting there having a great idea and they start their company. And then the company grows, they are very passionate, they work really hard, they have this great idea, work day in, day out, work the weekends, so really, really passionate. And they build this cool culture around them. And they attract a lot of people, a lot of passionate people that want to work for these startup. And these people are also very passionate, and you have this cool events with these people together, great office spaces, and then the product grows. And maybe, yeah, you're very, very successful with your product, with this company you built. And then startups doing actually this here. They cash out. They cash out, they sell the company to the next big thing, go on the next big thing to a big company. And so telling this is not fostering a culture. So this is, you have created this great culture, and then you sell your company. So, and you had this great culture. So, but this talk is actually about fostering a culture, keeping your culture, try to grow your company, and still keep the startup feeling within your organization. Okay, now we know a great example of culture. So let's look at destructive examples of cultures. You have something in mind? Yeah? Yeah, I think we all heard of them. We talked to some friends, to some colleagues, or whatever, and then they tell us, oh, we are working in this company and this sucks, and yeah, and somehow we feel sorry for those guys when they tell us. We feel a bit sorry. But yeah, why are companies actually doing this? Why do they work still in these big hierarchies, and why does work have to suck? Why does culture have to suck? And why is it? I think it's his fault here. Does anybody know who that is? It's Frederick Winslow Taylor, famous for his Taylorism. Last century, he started and he said, okay, we have machines, and I want some efficient worker. I want to treat them like machines. Actually, Henry Ford said, I don't want my workers to think. They should just come to work at 7 and leave at 5 or whatever, and don't think at work. They should just do their job. And then they invented something, okay, some people had also to think, so they invented the managers. The managers are there to think. They are the thinkers and tell the workers what to do. Great, but times have actually changed. Some companies are still operating like that. Where they tell us what we should do. But times have changed. And not only that, work has also changed. We are more knowledge workers right now. We are thinkers. And people have changed. They want to work in a different culture. They want to really, really work in an innovative, great culture. And companies, well, I think they change slowly. Not as we want, as fast as we want, but they change very, very slowly to this more open culture. So we all know in the past we were working like Fred Flintstone here. It's 7 o'clock or 5 o'clock and the horn rings and he says, yabba dabba doo, goes to Wilma. That's how we worked in the past. But now we actually work a little bit more like the Incredibles. We want to work for a purpose. We want to start something cool. So saying that is, in the past, people work for their pension or to feed their family. Now we want to really work for a purpose. In the past, we were working from 9 to 5. Now we work whenever. In the past, we were working in an office. We were going to an office. Now we work wherever we want. We have the technology to do that. And in the past, we worked for the whole career at one place, and we planned our whole career when we were 18. Now it's, yeah, whatever. So my name is Sven. I work for Atlassian. It's a company from Sydney, Australia. We do software, actually. We started doing software for software developers. Now we're doing software for business to make them more successful, to make them more efficient, to make them more collaborative. And these are us. This is we're not dressed up like this all the time. So it's our office in San Francisco, and they had a Halloween party. And coincidentally, our co-founder, I don't know if you can see that, Scott Farquhar, he dressed up as Fred Flintstone. This is coincidence, so it has nothing to do with the culture. He's actually a great guy and fostering a very great culture. So I want to start telling you a bit about our innovation culture. So we have a culture at Atlassian of innovation, and this is really important for software development companies. But as I said, we are a bunch of software developers. How do you innovate those people? Well, that's a stereotype. We don't look like that. We are also cool guys, software developers. But how do you motivate people to innovate? Well, you should give them time to try their own ideas. They have great ideas. You just give them time. And we do that every quarter. And we call that Atlassian Ship It Days. So the purpose is to ship something, innovative idea, within 24 hours. So they got 24 hours of time, have their cool idea, and hack for 24 hours, and then at the end, show their innovative idea to the whole company. We show it to the whole company and show the whole company what great idea we had, and the whole company is seeing that. So this is really great. We do that every quarter, trying to do things, but this is just prototyping. We wanted to have these innovation ideas also in our products, and sometimes we cannot put them on a roadmap. So we came up with the next innovative idea, and we're doing innovation weeks. So every team does that at Atlassian independently. They do every 6 weeks, every 7 weeks, whenever they get time, but 6 weeks is a good cycle. They have 1 week to really make their cool ideas work in the product. So we put these innovative ideas just in the product, and they are ready for the next release. So, and then we had this great idea. We had all these great minds, you know, all the people that came up with these awesome ideas. And we said, oh, great. We put those people that have these great ideas into one team. And we call that the innovation team. And they come up with great ideas. It's our innovation team, our team that really comes up with innovation. The problem was just that the rest of the company, they didn't feel responsible anymore for doing innovative things. And this is not what we want. So we stopped this innovation team. We said, okay, go back to your team. Everybody at Atlassian is responsible or can do innovative things. And this is very important. Because actually innovation happens everywhere. And for me, it's actually, I have my best ideas under the shower or during workout. And innovation happen. It's happening within the company. But you should just give your colleagues, your employees, the possibility to grow your innovative ideas. Okay, let's talk about culture for happiness. We all want to be happy, don't we? So actually, Daniel Pink, he wrote this book, Drive. Has anybody read the Drive book? Yeah, cool. Great. 2-3 people. Great. It's a great book. And actually, Daniel is talking about Atlassian Ship It Days. Well, we called it at that time Atlassian FedEx Days, but we were not allowed to call it FedEx Days anymore. But it's talking about intrinsic motivation. And this is really this thing here. It motivates you to do something. You can see your own idea come to life. This is really motivating. And that makes you really happy. As I said, it's sometimes hard for us to see the bigger picture. I mean, we are software developers doing software for other companies. So, but we also want to make the world a better place. really. And motivation is to work for a reason. We want to work for a reason sometimes. And actually, we are software developers at Atlassian, so with us it's called, we code for a reason. And we got the opportunity from Atlassian to take 1 week off, go on foundation leave, how we call it, and we can work for a charity. And this is really, really motivating. But we are coders, and why not just take our skills and let people help people? For example, the food bank in Amsterdam, they came to us and said, we need a new web page, but we don't have money for that. And you're a cool programmer, so can you create a web page for us? And yeah, a bunch of guys, they took 1 week off of the foundation leave, and they created a web page. So now you can go to the web page, donate food, see where you can get your food, see the opening times, and we have created this web page. But said that is, we're just a bunch of Atlassians. So we are just maybe 300 developers. But there are so many great developers out there, and they maybe also want to code for a reason. So what about the rest of the developers? So we actually created a web page or a platform where charities can put in their charity projects, and developers can go in and actually work for them. So we bring those people together at makeitdiff.org. Because working for a reason makes us actually happier people. Talking about happiness, well, we actually doing this. I think all companies are doing this. This fun events. So we have this Friday events where we play old arcade games. We have team building events where we go river rafting, and we have this family and friends day last year where the theme was Carnival, and we invited our family and friends. So that, well, a lot of companies are doing that. But does that really make us happy? So how happy are you? Maybe you can tell it for yourself how happy you are at work. But what about your team? How happy is actually your team? Do you know that? Well, yeah, so companies are doing stuff like this. They ask their people every half a year or maybe every year, how happy are you? Where do you want to improve? Blah, blah, blah. But this sucks totally, and is totally slow. Also, I cannot react very, very fast with this one. So we took actually, in a ship it day, we said, okay, we have to fix this, and we came up with this iPad mood app. It's actually open source, so you can download it. So this is a mood app, and it says how you're feeling today. And we have iPad stands at every exit at Atlassian, and you can say, okay, I'm feeling good today, I'm feeling not so good. And you can see really the mood of the whole company there. And then we're measuring it, so this is the result, and we are adapting it. That's not always the same question. So this was after our company party, the mood app. So how do you feel today? And people didn't really feel very, very well. But you also want to learn from that. You want to change maybe some things. So actually Spotify is doing quite the same thing. And they found out that 91% of their employees were quite happy. So they were quite happy. But this was not enough. 91% was not enough. They want 100% happiness. So what they did actually, they talked to these unhappy people and changed stuff. And then they came up with 94% happiness, which is better, but not excellent. But I think you cannot make actually every employee happy. That's an impossible thing. Okay. And then you want to grow your culture. How do you grow your culture? If you grow your team and your company. So let's talk about numbers a little bit. 12. 12 is actually the natural team size. So when we were hunting back in the Stone Age, we were around 10 to 12 people hunting. So this is a natural team size actually. Another number, 150. 150, that's Dunbar's number, roundabout. So what does Dunbar's number tells us? Well, it tells us how many stable social relationships we can maintain. And if companies actually grow above this number, sometimes 120, 180, depends, this becomes anonymous workplaces. Really? Well, maybe not, because at Atlassian we're not anonymous workplaces. But what you actually get if you grow your company above this, you have this silo problem. Well, you work in silos, the finance people and then the cool developers, and they don't understand each other and they don't want to understand each other. So you have these silo problems. And actually, but what you want is in your culture, you want to work as one company. You want to bring people actually together. HubSpot had a great idea. They did this face wall. So they have this at the corridor where they show actually employees and they show where they are working. So if you go down the corridor, you can see David. Maybe David is working in finance, and next day you're sitting in the canteen next to David and talk to David and say, hey, I need some finance advice here. How do I do that? So you really grow the company together. It's not that anonymous anymore. But we at Atlassian, we're doing also something else. We actually want to give people a face, and if they started at Atlassian, so this is Benjamin. Benjamin started, I don't know, February last year? I'm not sure. So he actually started, and how do I know Benjamin? He's a developer from San Francisco. So how do I know Benjamin? Well, at Atlassian, everybody have to write an introductory blog post. So this is actually a task they have to do in their first week. They introduce themselves to the company. So, hi, I'm Benjamin. Good day. And these are my hobbies. I'm playing guitar. So you get some personal stuff connected to Benjamin, and then you can actually jump in and make a discussion. So say, for example, if he says, okay, I'm playing football, then say, okay, let's play football together on Friday. Let's do that. It's great. Because actually, we're sharing so much at Atlassian. We're sharing our wins, our fails, our news, and our questions that we have. So, for example, our wins, we're blogging about that here. Our design team won the design award, great. Then our fails, well, we were doing these user groups, Atlassian user groups, and they did one in Sydney, and this really sucked. So we started a conversation here, so somebody blocked this, and then we started a conversation trying to fix those fails. We're trying to fix those all together. Or if a new program comes up, like this Make a Diff, that I just showed you. We are announcing that also in our blog posts. And then we have something where we can ask, it's called confidence questions, and where we can actually ask questions to the whole company. So Carrie Liu, she asked here, how do you manage your personal tasks, emails, and so on? So how do you do that? And then people can answer on that, and we can start a discussion on that, and we can learn from each other, actually. Because there are some transparency enemies, and look like this here. Email. So many things are buried in emails. Telephone. Nobody is listening when you talk to another guy on the telephone. Nobody can hear that. So this is really transparency enemies. And we actually want to connect the team. So we're using chat very, very heavily at Atlassian. So every team has their own chat room chatting about their stuff. And if someone is not available, maybe he's out for a week or something, or for a day, he can go back into the chat room because it's persistent, and he can look it up, can see what was the discussion, what was the team deciding on. So everything is documented in our chat room, and it really connects the whole company. So I can go in and connect myself to someone else in the company that I maybe don't know. Someone from finance, just hip chat him. So I can just write a chat message. And transparency actually brings people together, and that's what we want. We want to bring people together. We don't want to work in silos. We want to bring people together. It helps bringing remote people together with office people. So I'm a remote guy. I work from home all the time, and this really connects me back to the office. If I can blog, if I can chat, and this transparency brings also time zones together. So if we have a blog post and we start a discussion, for example, with this Atlassian user group that sucked, people in Australia can comment on that, then afterwards people in Europe can comment on that, can give their opinion, and then people in the States can comment on that. So we're really connecting time zones with our collaboration platforms and with our chat, and being transparent around time zones. And then it's connecting people. So when I write a blog post as a coder, the CFO can comment on that too, or I can comment on the CFO blog post, no problem. So it's bringing also hierarchies down, breaking hierarchies down. Because actually transparency, that spreads the culture around the company, especially if you work in a distributed environment. So, but telling all that sounds great, doesn't it? Wow. There's also a dark side. of transparency. And the first thing is it's information overload. I mean, I told you we're blogging about everything, but maybe there are 50 new blog posts every day at Atlassian. This is really a lot, and you have to read through all of them. So you have to really adapt to that it's more like reading the newspaper. So if you are not interested in the sports part, you leave that out. But it can be really, really hard to get over this information overload. And then sometimes we have never-ending discussions. I told you we are very, very passionate. We want to really, really be excellent in everything we do. And sometimes we are too passionate and we cannot stop our discussions. So sometimes we have to say, okay, we take this offline, start a video call or whatever. This is really thing. And if you have all these great transparency tools, it feels like you don't have to meet people in person. But this is, of course, totally stupid. Of course you have to meet people in person to make a personal relationship. But it feels like he's so close if you're just a chat message away. The people are so close. So this is also something that you have to learn. So how do we grow our culture? And how do we grow our teams? So as I said, we're 12 people around is a natural team size. Our teams are around 6 to 8 people. That's approximately our team size. If we talk about programming teams. And of course we have a big product, and we have to scale that. So we scale horizontally with that. So we have more of these teams, 6 to 8 people working on one product. And these are autonomous. So maybe team A, they use tool X, and the other team, they don't use a tool at all. So they are very, very autonomous. Maybe some people meet daily, some teams meet daily, and other teams meet when it's necessary. Depends on the team. So every team can decide it for themselves. And this is actually autonomy for the team. And then, of course, we also have to work together. We're just not autonomous teams somewhere in the cloud. So we also have to support each other. So if I need support, maybe I'm in the back-end team and I have to need some support from the mobile team because I have done some new search algorithm and I want to reflect that also in the mobile app. I ask them. I just jump on our chat room and then ask them, hey, can we get some support maybe this week, maybe next week? And maybe they say yes. But maybe they say also, no, we have other priorities. We don't have time for that. So then it's actually it's okay for us to change stuff in the mobile app. So even though they own the mobile app, there's no ownership. Everybody can change everything. We trust each other that we're doing excellent work. So that's what we do. And this really scales. We can add more teams when the product grows. We can add more teams to that. And culture grows actually with the size of your company. So if you hire new people, I mean, we started 10 years ago with 8 people. Now we are 800 people, and it's not the same culture anymore. I can tell you that the culture changes a little bit. We're trying to keep the core of our culture, but with more people, the culture changes a little bit. But how do you make sure that new people fit into your culture? The first advice when you hire people is be picky. Inspect your candidates very, very carefully. Do they fit really? Is it really a fit? So we are doing 10 interviews with them or something like that. So if we think programming good, experience good, passion good, and then we're doing something we call the beer test. So we're not drinking beer with all of these people, all of this new people. We're not doing that, but we think ourselves, so we imagine ourselves drinking beer with this guy or this girl on a Friday evening. If we want to go out, have a chat with them, does that feel comfortable? And they can be great programmers with great experience, but really, really assholes. So if they fail the beer test, we say no, we don't hire those guys, well, those girls. On the other hand, if they pass the beer test and lack experience, yeah, we can give them experience or programming languages or something like this. So we hire those guys. So that's very important for us to hire for cultural fit. But be aware of the programmer effect. Yeah, that not all of you are the cool guys and all of you are the same. The culture lives from diversity. So you also should hire for diverse culture, even though the people pass the beer test, but they are totally differently. You should hire them. And in technology, I must say, I've worked in some software companies. We are lacking women, really. So we really want to have more women in technology. Please, please, please. But said all that, it's hard to get into this strong culture. So we have a very, very strong culture with very, very passionate people. And once, actually, I started at Atlassian, I was afraid writing a blog post because there's all the smart people at Atlassian, and I'm just the poor guy from Germany coming into this Australian company. And I was really, really afraid. So it's really hard to get into a strong culture. So what we're doing is actually we give every new employee a buddy. So everybody gets a buddy on. So this is the guy who's a little bit longer in the company, who knows a little bit more about the company, and they go to lunch together. Maybe they go on a Friday pub evening together. And if I as a new employee have a question, I ask my buddy. I'm comfortable with my buddy. So in this way I'm dragged into the culture. Another thing they're doing in the San Francisco office, they're doing the beer bike. So every new employee on a Friday afternoon, they have this bike and they drive around on this bike with beer in the back and going and driving around and giving people beer and have a chat with them. So this is also a great thing to bring people into culture. But said that, this is the Atlassian culture. As I said, we are very, very happy. We want to have a happiness in our culture. We want to trust. We trust each other. We have respect for each other. We continuously improve what we do. We can continuously ask ourselves, can we do better here? So we want to continuously improve ourselves. We want to innovate. We will have innovation and autonomy. So people are autonomous. But said that, this is the Atlassian culture. So what's important for your culture, I cannot tell you. You have to figure out what's important for your culture. So said that is, if you know that, ping. Great thing. Steve Jobs said, this is the next big thing, a social network for music. Great. But where's ping today? It's gone. They stopped it. Because actually, products come and go. So new products come, old products go. We care in companies so much about our products, day in, day out. But maybe tomorrow there comes a new software out from Chinese programmers that kills our product from Atlassian. But you know what? We have a great culture because products come and go, but culture stays. It's the people. This is very, very important. Thank you very much. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Sven. Thank you, Sven.